Hello my beautiful Pisces, and welcome back to your bonus reading. So if you're not aware, I have two other channels on a go, Life Path Number Tarot, and you can put at Life Path Number Tarot and you can find me there. It's under the banner of Intuitive Energies, and you can also find Connect to the Deck Tarot, which I post one time a week. I post different things. I post flip throughs on that one, but also post one of the recent one that I can think about is how to do a one-card oracle read for yourself every week. So go check those out. Absolutely, there is more of my content because I know I've greatly reduced here, but I needed to expand elsewhere as well. So I didn't want to leave the Pisces channel. I think it is attracting who I want it to. But in order to grow, I needed to expand to other places, if that makes any sense. So here we go. This is your bonus for the weekly, if you were watching it. And we're talking about how we should take perfection right out of the equation of the things that we do. Because perfection, while it's great to make something or to think something to perfection, I feel that they're showing me like it wraps a nice little tight little perfect little bow around things, but it doesn't necessarily mean anything at all. It's just your perception. It's a perception of it. It makes it feel more successful than it actually is, and it's only through perception. So they wanted to go a little bit deeper into that. Now, of course, there'll be this video, but on Thursday there will be an oracle message, and that's just when I kind of just sit and really have a powwow with the guides and whoever wants to come in. So make sure to subscribe if you're interested in that. It's usually one of my most popular videos, the oracle message one. So I asked my guides today how many cards from this deck they wanted me to pull, and they said 4. So let's pull 4 and let's see what they have for us in regards to perfection. Now, this deck professes to give you the message that you need to hear, not the one that you want to hear. So this is why I love this deck. So please give us the first card. Interesting. Oh, I may have had to take that one. Oh, here we go. Oh, I like this first one because I saw the word that was associated, and it's the experimenter. I love that affirmation. I am strong, secure enough to experiment as I see fit. Yeah, I really like this. I see the 2 pillars. They're not black and white, but there's pillars on each side. It gives me a sense of security for you, Pisces. I feel that these experiments, they're not gonna spell out your demise. I feel that we're experimenting with life. Let me see here. I'm gonna take a look and see what it says. Okay. To make the most of the energies operating in your life now, you have to ensure that you're willing to come up with new and different ways of doing things. Now's the time of exposing yourself and others to unusual viewpoints and theories, and maybe even unusual experiences too. Think, say, and do what you want without fear of embarrassment, contradiction, or rocking the boat. Avoid censoring yourself or others, and be especially careful of those who would like to censor you. For now is the time when you simply must stir things up a bit. Most of our lives are spent trying to build things up and to make them last. However, there comes a time when the old ways of doing things become counterproductive. Sometimes instability can lead to inventiveness. Prepare for a time of extremes and expect the unexpected. Be aware of what seems like an accident, mistake, or failure may be a short-lived opportunity for achieving the love you want by an unusual route. Okay? I love this. I really love this. The number 23 in itself is also representing something of because it's number 5 and I'm a 5, it's taking belief systems and breaking them down and making them better, okay? Making them more flexible to move with the time. I used to hate the Hierophant card with a passion because it represented a religion I no longer really, you know, the Hierophant is like the Pope for the Catholic religion, and I'm no longer Catholic. I've kind of went away from that a very long time ago, because such as their law of you know, priests not getting married, and I thought, but we're humans and we need companionship, and it's unnatural. It really is unnatural to tell people not to be together. Also, the fact that women could not be priests, like they've decided that half the population is not, I don't know, enlightened enough to be able to, which was kind of weird. All of these things were a belief system and tradition that had been implemented. But the Hierophant is here to teach you that some things need to move forward. Some things need to be changed. Some things need to be looked at and revamped and be more flexible. We have to learn new ways of doing things and teaching things. So I've learned through time to really embrace the Hierophant as a what not to do in life. Don't be so strict with yourself that you can never bring in change. You must be flexible. So with that, you have also the artwork on the card. So I'm going to read a little bit. A determined youth stands at the top of a hill with feet spread apart and a dress-like tunic billowing out and out in the breeze. Obviously. Even upon careful study, it is difficult to determine whether this youth is male or female or a human being of one sex experimenting with taking on some of the roles, values, and attitudes of the opposite sex. At this time in this youth's life, it's important to explore the limits of conventional mores and stereotypes, for by doing so, personal taste and the ability to stand up for unconventional beliefs and unpopular causes will be developed. The youth seems to be looking down the hill and signaling to others down below to follow in this escapade. They have not yet decided whether to join the youth in the uphill march into the fiercely blowing wind. Not one, but two arrows are held up in this youth's outstretched left hand, a symbol that people on the opposite sides of the crowd are being called upon to fight against the prejudices inherent in their points of view and join together so that the truth may prevail, as symbolized by the single arrow soaring triumphantly in the border above. The youth holds the bow tightly, using their right hand, yet another indication that this bow is being used by a left-handed person. This is an indication that the youth, like many other left-handed and otherwise different people, have always been made to feel uncomfortable. This youth, along with many other people with special ideas and ways of being, have all had to confront many culturally accepted standards and practices designed to enhance the personal freedom of the many, but which for them serve only to inhibit it. Some meet the challenge of being different by accepting the conditions imposed by the majority. Some become overwhelmed by their situation and give up, unafraid of being different to the point of being proud of it. This youth has had enough of the status quo, symbolized by the cracked columns of a ruined temple, and has chosen to actively rebel and demand equal treatment and opportunities. The vision of how things ought to be is a call to arms that cannot be ignored by this youth or society overall. And I hadn't even noticed the cracks in the side columns. There it is. Okay? This is really beautiful, and it does bring in exactly what I was talking about. What was I talking about? I was talking about not seeking perfection, to doing it outside the box, to look for other ways of doing things. And I think this bonus, this reading, one of the clues for you to do is to look at something and say, is it just a stereotypical tradition, belief system that no longer applies here? Can we just be human beings and free without the societal norms that are always implemented on us, right? And some of this I'm going to say because I know the world is suffering through all of that. And some of you may be saying, yeah, the world is doing that right now. We're not falling victim to definitions. True. But the people who are trying to bring in different definitions are now imposing those on us. So that's not really what this is about. This is a more of live and let live. Okay? So you are allowed to be yourself. You just can't make other people do what you want them to. That's the other part that keeps getting forgotten. We always bring in something new and we're always expecting other people to follow it. Some might and some don't, but the important part is not to impose our will on other people. Okay? They've got to decide for themselves what they want to do or what they are going to be or what guidance they want to follow. Five of Pentacles is the card that's accompanying it. And then you have the Two of Hearts. Let's pull one more for this one. These cards are taking their time coming out, and I think that's great. I think that's one of the messages. It's just the oracle just took so long. And look at that. Okay? Just to make sure that we were actually talking about the Hierophant, we are talking about the Hierophant. Mic drop. Love it when they do that. Okay, so Five of Pentacles. Yeah, it's about separating ourselves from those kind of thoughts, those kind of belief systems that completely segregate us from each other, that keep us apart, okay? And it's harmonizing, Two of Hearts. It's to bring it back together, to accept and love and be part of more than one system, right? We're done putting all the eggs in the same basket. It's time to diversify. And I think this is the biggest thing. Diversify your thoughts. Diversify your perspective. Diversify the way you think. And sometimes know the knowledge base, the tradition, everything that you have learnt thus far, there's always an ability to improve it somehow. Always. And that will remain. For the thing that is perfect for today, it will be up for improvement tomorrow. For some, and others may not. But the thing is, it's not narrow your gaze so much on the fact of how things are. It's to expand your gaze on how things can be. And with that, you'll also have no need for perfection, because everybody will be able to get their own version of perfection, right? Just like the paintings I was talking about in the first reading. All right. So, I can't believe I have 3 more cards to pull, but apparently I do. So I'm just going to take these. I'm going to put that here, up here. And I'm going to pull another card out of this. Okay. The Benefactor, 2. I enjoy life now as I take steps to realize my new tomorrow. 2 is the number of the High Priestess, of making choices. Very nice. Let's see. Sometimes everything is going just as it should be, even if it doesn't appear that way on the surface, and some of the problems you may be experiencing are really there for your own good. At some time in the near or distant past, you were very helpful to another person. Remember that you will reap the rewards of your good deeds. Your good luck may be manifesting in a way that seems to be making your life more hectic and confrontational on many fronts. Do not despair. They're pointing out areas in your life that need to be worked on. Your greatest challenge now is to maintain a positive attitude when things do not appear to be going the way you want them to. All you must do is follow your heart, taking small steps forward on your path, and do what you know is right. Allow your intuition to work unfeathered by the false belief that it is realistic to doubt yourself and your right to live a life of quality and meaning as you define it. For the art of this, it says, a winged Egyptian figure with a treasure basket of precious jewels balanced perfectly upon its head takes tiny steps forward on a path leading from the sea. Even its wings are encrusted with jewels. While one hand steadies the basket, the other holds link rings of gold. This is an angelic messenger come to inform you that you're on the right path. You'll have the opportunity to attain the goal that you desire sooner, perhaps, than you thought you could. The strange form of this angel is to remind you that angels come in many forms, just as opportunities do. If you adhere rigidly to a preconceived notion, there we go, talking about what the first card was talking about, of how things should go for you, you will probably not be able to see your opportunity when it arrives. It may not arrive the way you thought it would. Allow your higher self to use its infinite creativity to bring you your goal in its own way and time. Just as jewels are crystallized in the heat and fire deep within the ever-evolving earth, the goal you seek requires patience over time. Like jewelry making, a successful career or relationship is a result of a patient study, planning, skill, hard work, and a little luck. The appearance of the benefactor means luck is running your way. So make the most of it. In ancient Egypt, the scarab beetles in the border represented Khepera, the sun god, who was so powerful that he rolled the ball of the sun across the sky the way beetles roll balls of dirt across the ground. Symbolizing the great goddess are two sets of horns in the upper corners, which each contains the disk of her symbol, the moon. The bridge that arch between them symbolizes the 29.5 days it takes the moon to go from full to dark and back again, a period we call a month, a word derived from the word moon. The two symbols found beneath the bridge are among the most powerful in Egyptian sacred tradition, known as the Eye of Horus. They are a strong reminder to do good deeds, for the quality of your reward will depend on the energy you put out now. Very important, right? Very important. All right, so I like this. This is saying you're on the right path. You're you know, they always say this, but I'll say it again. Act as if you've already gotten what you're going for. Act as if you've already succeeded. Do like I do. See all my 3 channels being of great success, helping people. That's what I want. I want them to help people, give them something entertaining to watch. And if they're into spirituality, all spiritual things, decks, I see this as a great success. I see Life Path numbers as helping guide people on their path. I see my Pisces channel as my own little personal good spot for you guys and myself to give some great insights and nice big messages for you guys, because I think that Pisces, we need guidance. We need a lot of guidance. So here we go. With this comes the Princess of Pentacles, the Prince of Pentacles, and Strength. So it's all these are telling me, look, yes, sometimes it feels like the journey is long. And it might feel like that a few times in your lifetime. You might feel like, oh my God, I've really got to walk the walk and walk the path, and I'm going to be here forever. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay. You want some great adventures in your life. You want to walk a path that's meaningful. Because when you end up getting these beautiful things from this beautiful angelic being that's bringing you all that you deserve, you want to sit back and go, you know, that was a journey and it took a while, but God, that was good. I learned new things. I embraced new ways of thinking, new perspectives. I took my time. I paid attention to the details. And I had a lot of courage and confidence getting there. Okay? So just embrace that fact, embrace that journey, and don't give up. Don't put the energy in a negative context, put it in a very positive, okay? Working with the wild parts, bringing balance to logic and impulses, increasing your personal power, focusing on your inner strength, and things will end up coming to you. Put one foot in front of the other and just take those steps towards reaching your goals. Absolutely. Okay, so this is card number 2. Yeah, they really wanted to emphasize. They wanted to emphasize. I can tell. And you know, my human brain's going, oh come on, this is going to be too long. But I don't think so. I think it's well worth it, and I think these messages are going to be really helpful. Okay. All right. So let's do card number 3. Let's see what else they would like you to know. All right. You have 16, the forgiver. I forgive myself and others with compassion for our human frailties. All right, look at this. And that is 16. Let's see. Let's take a look at 16. Okay. Let's read the art first, and let's take a look. A woman walks towards us with her eyes closed. In the lower left of the scene, we see the thatched roof, foliage, and fence of a home she has just left. It is unclear whether she has just gone for a walk or has gone for good. The appearance of Cupid flying frantically around her on the back of a bird is an indication that there's no need for two lovers to come together again and soon. The other birds are also concerned, for this is a relationship that has seen work well and feel is worth saving. Her toga dress could be a common bedsheet, grabbed in a haste as she made her exit. The tray she holds has food for just one person. Perhaps she has brought 2 meals on a tray to her partner, but words and deeds of a hurtful nature have passed between them, causing her to take her meal and eat it on her walk. Outside in the steamy summer weather, she may find that a walk among the beauty of her neighborhood can remind her of the good times and good things in her relationship and enable her to cool down. Cupid has thoughtfully brought a guitar-like instrument with him and plays the wistful melody of one of her favorite songs. Its word is a reminder that the relationship that has just caused her pain is one she longs sought and worked hard to sustain. Its haunting chorus causes her to keep her eyes closed as she walks, remembering other times when a careless word caused hurt and suffering. The rose that materializes at her shoulder is a sign that reconciliation is possible, though it cannot be bought merely with flowers, but with the awareness that a genuine mistake has been made and the lessons taught by this have been noted and slated for correction. Through her introspective examination of her own behavior, she has decided that she's gone far enough and should return home. She has also learned from this and other experiences that in order for her to be able to forgive her partner, she must first be able to forgive herself. She must nourish herself with the meal that anger has delayed and with her divine capacity for compassion, the heart of the matter. There must be forgiveness, both of yourself and others, in order for healing and love to dwell within your heart. The energy you might otherwise channel into thoughts of revenge will only work against you, and on many levels. Close your eyes to the irritating behavior of another if you are sure, both in head and heart, that they are worthy of your forgiveness, and that such an exercise of compassion will help them to grow. Growing pains are a fact of life, not only on the physical level, but on the mental, emotional, and spiritual levels as well. Forgiveness is the antidote to the poison of blame. All too often the tendency is to not try to solve the problem, but to fix the blame. Blaming someone provides a false sense of comfort to the one who is now absolved of any guilt or possibility of wrongdoing. To forgive is not weakness, but the greatest strength. And again, I think this, is not just about forgiveness. It's about our idea or perception of perfection, right? If you're in a relationship, you have a part of you that is expecting something from another, right? I expect you to be this way. I expect you to act this way. Those are expectations. And that brings on arguments, fights, and disagreements. And sometimes we have to forgive ourselves for those expectations and forgive others for literally not knowing what they were expected to do. Okay? So it's an openness of mind. You have the number 16, which is the number 7 here, which is time to assess how you judge things around you. People, situations, this all coming in with that perfection thing. This is the things that you are expecting. So the Spirit is saying, look, the more you expect from certain things, the more you're bound to be a little bit disappointed. Okay? And this applies to yourself too. What do you expect of yourself? That's why. It's a why. I'm hearing like it's why would you expect these things from you? Because that's the way you were thought. So the first card is the Ace of Wands. Instead, is it the Ace of Wands? No, it's the Six of Wands. There was too much action in there. Next card is Justice, right? Let's get the third card here. And we have, I do believe that's the Prince of Hearts, the Prince of Cups. Okay. Yeah, oftentimes we're looking for justice in the, what's the word I'm looking for? Irrational. In the irrational. We're looking for balance in irrational thoughts, behaviors. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Right? Which brings more irrationality, which more drama. We set out wanting victory, but we end up getting a real imbalance, because there can never be any balance, because in this Justice card, fairness is an apple, right? An apple on one side needs to be an apple on the other side. There is no room for growth or expansion. It is a very limited belief that it just stays the same, right? If you look at the justice system, there are a set of laws in that justice system. Unless they are changed, and they are slow to change for certain things, they're very slow to change. They have a set way of doing things, right? It's a doctrine. This is the way, if you do this, that's what's going to happen. This is justice, right? In life, for many, many things that are not concerning laws, it is in place to try to protect us. But oftentimes things need to be changed up to meet up with times or new circumstances, right? If there's a crime that's built in a new way, right? When we didn't have computers, there were no computer crimes. Now there is. There had to be laws and things that had to be updated. The system had to change, because then that becomes a lawless type of thing, right? So I'm trying to put this in a way, declaring victory on something when there is no clear sense to it, when you're trying to balance it in a very old system, sometimes just doesn't work out. It just doesn't work out, right? Same thing as you meet somebody, they so-called hurt you through maybe their inactions of things they didn't know they were expected to do. That doesn't make any sense, okay? It again comes into that, what's that word I said again? Okay, the drama of it that doesn't match up to this, because they didn't know what was on your scales of what was supposed to be. So it's very important that communication. I'm gonna break this down to a very easy part. Communication. Communication is the key here. Talking to somebody. I know she's taking a time out, having a meal, which is a great idea, is what they said. Go ahead, take a time out, go have a meal. But when you come back with a clearer and cooler mind, it's time to really communicate and really understand and forgive somebody for not knowing your mind. They're not in your mind. They're not in your mind. People are not in your mind. They're in their own. And unless you're very clear and precise, and people want to make the effort to please you, which they're not, they're in no, they don't have any, you know, it doesn't work that way. It's not, they're not there just to please you. You just got to take care of yourself, okay? And then it works out too as expectation of yourself because of the way you were raised. Well, I should have turned out to be better. I should have become a doctor or a lawyer. Why? Why? Because your parents told you, oh, look, you know, the neighbor's kid became such and such. Why couldn't you? That's an expectation that you're now putting on yourself that doesn't need to be there. There's no need for a perfect type of situation. You are an individual, and you need to give yourself a break. You need to forgive yourself for the things, the so-called things that you never realized, okay? And to me, it's just drama. That's all it is. It's a false sense of what is balanced out. I much prefer the Six of Pentacles in this position than the Justice card, because the Justice card is very unyielding. It's a hand for a hand, an eye for an eye. Okay? It's very clear-cut, defined. No room for movement. So, yeah. I'm going to let this one go here. I'm sure that some of you have gotten it. Some of you may be confused. I feel a little confused. I may have to watch this and understand it better. I'm just saying what's coming through. Okay. So this one. One more. One more, my beautiful Pisces, and then we're good for today. I think these are all very helpful. These are situations that may be coming in for some or all of you, or you may have gone through some of these, which I feel that's also, oh, and this one. Inspiration. I like this one. 46:10. I allow inspiration to fill me so I can inspire others. Yeah. You know that thing that I always talked about before? It's like being an example to others. Yeah, start with you. Start with you. You can't, you look at all the problems in the world and you're thinking, well, I can't change all of that. That's too much for one person. Change you. Change you and your direct environment and start affecting the people around you. They see you, you lead by example. Some will want to follow. They're going, oh, that she does good, or he does good, or they do good, you know, and they're just going like, okay, that's a generally good person. Well, I want to be a good person. Aha. Okay? That's how it bleeds out. Like the pond, like the pebble and the ripples. That's what happens. And that's how you get other people involved. Sometimes those take longer than just affecting people of, you know, everybody's wearing the same shoe, because the world is in a pattern of addiction. But it doesn't mean that it's not having an effect. Okay? 46. Let's take a look. The art of the matter. So we're going to take a look at the art, as you can see it here. The inspiration gazes lovingly at her most treasured possession, the lamp of truth, passed on to her by the sage who was her teacher and role model. She stands atop a mountain so that her many devoted followers can see her clearly. She did not start out to have any followers at all, but her words, her deeds, and her ability to radiant calmness have produced in her an invaluable quality that is an attractive beacon equal to the light of the lamp of truth, bringing to her those who need to share the energy of a sagacious lineage. That's the mouthful. The teachings of this revered wise woman have empowered the inspiration to overcome her inertia, her fear of failure, and her fear of success too. Filled with the love for her venerable mentor, she has been able to persevere despite being confronted by formidable challenges. She has been able to avoid many confrontations with damaged and ignorant people and the treacherous betrayals by people close to her. Were it not for her ability to draw upon the lessons learned from others, she would have been forced to experience these painful lessons for herself. The inspiration stands holding a slender spear but without a shield. The leaf-adorned shields in the borders symbolize that the overwhelming power of nature is all the shield she needs. Her simple sandals enable her to feel the ground she walks on because she does not want to be isolated from reality. The curtains above and around her in the border remind us that life is a show, and how we act and appear to others is a show that can and will be learned from whether we like it or not. See what I mean? The inspiration has accepted her role model status with her followers and has dedicated the rest of her life to influencing them with her words and, more importantly, with her actions. Her very being has merged with this mantle that she has taken up, and it is now second nature to her to inspire in others what some call goosebumps, but what she calls truth bumps. Such powerful inspiration is one of the most accurate indicators that you are in the presence of truth and importance. Pay attention. The heart of the matter, your heart, okay? We are all called upon to be influencers now. The powers bestowed on each of us by technology in general and social media in particular include that of leading by being a good example. Not by haranguing or diminishing others, just as children must discover and learn how their actions affect others, adults in the 21st century must always be aware of how their words, deeds, and examples either inspire or conspire against those they interact with. We must, of course, be ourselves and not custom-tailored our words and actions to pander to the whims of others and the fads of the day. We must be the change we want to see in others. There is no other way to have influence over anyone with strongly felt beliefs. Beautiful. I'm not going to go into that because I think this says it all. It really does. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to be beautiful, okay? If you revere, let's say, I remember thinking Tony Robbins is perfect. He's just perfect. He's a perfect human being. He's not a perfect human being. He's a human being who has done many fantastic things. He is not a perfect human being. He is himself, and he has some awesome gifts, okay, such as Wayne Dyer. And Wayne Dyer made sure that people knew he was not a perfect human being. He absolutely made sure. And that's what made him special. So don't try to change yourself to fit an image. Be an inspiration in who you are right now. That's the only thing I wanted to add to that. Don't put extra pressure of going, well, I have to act and be perfect all the time. You're going to make mistakes, okay? And if you try to show an image of somebody who has no faults, trust me, somebody will come around and find them for you, okay? Even if you become a big television personality, somebody will find them for you. There you go. Strength. And not only strength, worthiness. Worthiness in yourself. Okay? Four of Hearts. These cards that are coming in, they're telling me find the worthiness in yourself, how to do it. Okay? You're going to suffer delays doing this. Of course. Because you're going up a mountain of being the best version of yourself. So absolutely you're going to have some delays when it comes to this. And you're going to have crisis of confidence as well. Okay? This is normal. First of all, remember to practice being worthy. Worthiness of yourself. Okay? Not just confidence. Confidence is something that we show the world. Worthiness is something that resides within us. Please be worthy of your strength and courage that lives inside of you, okay? And with the Four of Cups, there are moments where you're going to feel stagnant, bored, stopped. Sometimes there is a reason for that as well, okay? Sometimes the right thing is coming in, but it's just not the right thing. Just don't let it cripple you or stop you from moving forward in your truth. That's the important part. In your truth is the important part. And of course, like I said, Two of Swords, delays. These things are here for a reason. They're here to show you an imbalance. They're here to show you how to balance an uncertainty, how to unblock a blocked. So that is the stuff that they're talking about when you're going up this very important hill of being somebody who is an example to others, right? You don't want to rush to get there, because it never turns out very good anyway, because then you're showing a false persona. Take each step within your authentic self and then put it out there for the world to see. then you don't have to put on a persona when you wake up in the morning. You're just who you're meant to be. And you're doing the work you want to, like I am. I'm speaking to you as myself. I'm going to tell you, there are many times when I was doing this channel, people tell me, you talk too much, you do too much, you should change this, you should change that. And that's exactly what I should have never, ever tried to do. But of course, we want to please people, okay? You are fine the way you are, just as I am fine the way I am. If I'm not everybody's cup of tea, that's their choice. But I have to be me. And you have to be you. And I'm here to tell you that it's okay to be you. It's not that the whole world loves you. It's that what you do makes a difference. Because when you teach it in your way, somebody will teach it in their way. And they'll be somebody else's cup of tea. Do you understand? It's like a big domino effect. And there'll be something for everyone. You can't be the everything to everyone. But if you get your own group of people, they can then just kind of reach out, like the ripples of that pond stone. You start with the first ripple, and then those grow out, okay? They're not all you. They're you touching others, that others touch others. It's just kind of that effect. So don't be too concentrating on trying to change the entire world in one sitting. Just change what's in front of you. Be who you want to be. Love yourself. Be authentic. Be of service. Embrace change. Okay? Forgive yourself. Forgive others, especially for things that you are expectations from childhood. Know that even though the road might be long, the gifts are definitely on their way to you. Live as if you're just expecting a shipment of this any day now, like an Amazon delivery, right? And again, just be, march at the beat of your own drum. Experiment in your life. Have fun with it. Like the paintings that I was talking about. I hope that this bonus has helped you out. I wanted it to be really something more for you. And I think I like this even better than just a weekly. I think I really love this even more. I hope that you got a lot out of it, my beautiful Pisces. I want you to be successful. I know you're going to be. I feel it within my bones. I feel for some of you who's on this journey with me, we're all going to really reap some really wonderful rewards. If I can actually be honest with you, I think we already are. I think our lives are changing every day. As we wake up, we see the better in it rather than the worst of it. And that in itself is a great success. It's a great success because then you get to live your everyday in the right now. You get to enjoy the moments rather than always be worrying about the next one. Thank you so much for being here. I'm sending you a great big hug. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Now understand if you only listen to this in parts, that's great. I'm not posting as many, so you can take your time. Take care of yourselves. I will see you in the Oracle message on Thursday. Bye for now.